It appears that Darren Till versus Andrew Tate is in the works for December at Misfits, and what a headline! I did not think I would be getting this kind of headline, but anyway, this is how it is. Nothing makes sense over here, but I made an update to Nick Diaz right before this video. Go check it out. Has to do with his ex girlfriend, as well as go follow BJJ Ninja Recovery on Instagram for all the updates on him. Now, we're gonna get into this article before we go into the tweets and get into the fun parts about this thing. Darren Till confirms Andrew Tate as next opponent. Darren Till is confident that he will return to boxing later this year and stand across the ring from uber popular internet personality Andrew Tate. Darren Till's boxing career took another positive step after his devastating knockout over former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold. The Killer Gorilla, or not the Killer Gorilla, actually, Kenny. The Gorilla's departure from the UFC has proved to be a huge success. Not only has the Scouser managed to establish himself as one of the faces of Misfits boxing with 3 straight wins under the banner, but he also set himself up for an, uh, for an imminent matchup that the world will be watching. According to Darren Till, after extending his undefeated streak in the ring to 4 straight, his next opponent is already lined up. Till revealed that he will collide with the internet personality and extremely controversial retired kickboxer Andrew Tate. Rumors of Tate stepping into Misfits boxing ring began heating up within the past month. It seems his promotional debut will come against the dangerous Darren Till before the year's end. Yes, I'm definitely fighting again this year. Um, we will now go into watching a bit of the interview. Not gonna watch the whole thing obviously, but it will be linked down below for you to go watch in its entirety. Let's get into it.
Getting better every fight. I don't care what anyone's saying. I did say a few years ago, like I'm going to come in and just end this influencer game, and that's essentially what I'm doing. And the sky is the limit. It's big things on the horizon.
So why end it? Because you're succeeding in it. It's treating you well.
Yeah, but I've still got other goals and aspirations. And at one point, yeah, it did look like it looked like a lot. Behind the scenes, there was a lot of. It was hard the first year, but what I've done cleverly, other than these other MMA fighters, is I've really dedicated myself to the art and craft of boxing, learned the small details, obviously got better with each fight. First 3 fights, obviously one in Dubai and the other two this year, wasn't as maybe high profile as Luke. Luke was obviously the higher competition, obviously former UFC world champion, obviously a little bit older, but still, a force to be reckoned with. And just showing exactly why everyone should really be avoiding me, like all these guys. And yeah.
Was there anything about Luke going into this fight that concerned you?
Sorry?
Was there anything about Luke that
Okay, where does he, right here. I wanted to play a bit of that because, again, Darren Till is dominating this influencer boxing scene. I think it was a genius move on his end to jump over. He is a young guy. He can absolutely make a return to the UFC, I truly feel. And didn't he leave the UFC, if I'm not mistaken? Um, But I definitely think him racking up these wins, building his name, because let's face it, Misfits boxing is a casual market, right? More casual boxing fans are going to be watching those cards, and casual fans make up for majority of the viewership in MMA, as much as it pains us to say that. Um, but let's hear what Darren Till has to say.
You tweeted earlier today about a call you had regarding the top Hmong. Who are you referring to?
Who do you think I'm referring to?
Okay, there's a few options. The first thing that came to mind was Top G, Andrew Tate, because
Yeah.
he refers to himself as Top G. Is that him?
Well, yeah. So in my eyes, this is how I see things, Ariel. If you're gonna go round referring to yourself as the top G, the alpha of all alphas, then I obviously, I don't want to take that title off you because I don't think I'm the top J. Because if Tom Aspinall was to walk in this room now and told me to fucking sit down and shut up, I'm gonna sit down and shut up. But yeah, I'm an alpha. I can fight most people out there. I wouldn't certainly go around calling myself top J and the big ladies, man, this, that, the other. I'm a woman guy. Like, I'm not one of these guys out there trying to impress girls with money and this that. I'm actually very humble area. I think I don't give a fuck about doing these interviews, and I don't give a fuck about obviously fame and that. It does go higher and people appreciate. But I live a simple life, and so for me, if he's the top J, he's definitely not going to decline a fight with me, as he's going to come in and show me why he's the top J. So top Mong, top Al.
And he's got game, dude. He's got fight game, man. I was never a big Darren Till fan, but I respected him. He's funny, really talented. I think he got pushed way too quick and ended up getting into a few tricky fights. And like I said, I think he really did make a smart decision that not a lot of fighters would do in going away from the UFC, going into different competition, building your name outside of the UFC. That way, when he comes back, you know, we can do a lot of fun things with Darren Till if and when that happens.
Fair. I'm certainly expecting him to accept the fight with me real soon.
And by the way, I do take a bit of offense to you saying you don't care about the interviews. I thought you actually enjoyed them to a degree.
No, I really care about speaking to you. We have good
Okay.
in-depth conversations, and I obviously have always said I'm a fan of the way you do things. Look, some guys along the way sometimes they do get offended by the
Okay,
things you do
yeah,
and
we don't need Ariel glazing here.
saying you've got your tendencies, but why would I take offense to that? You're doing a job. You're very good at your job. I say he's one of the best, but I don't get offended. Even if Daniel Cormier's on the commentary box and he's saying stuff, let's say unsavory about me, blah blah blah, etc. etc. It's his job, so I don't take offense. It's very hard to get me offended.
Okay, Darren Till knows how to play the game.
No,
I
I know.
Uh,
I mean, the only yeah, no, I've been on the receiving end of when you are offended, and it's not very fun. Going back to the top G, I reported that they're in advanced talks, and it seems like it's going to happen. I can't see any scenario, Darren, where this guy who claims to have this big ego, who in reality I think has a very fragile ego, would ever sign up for a fight against someone like you. He's going to want a tomato can. He's going to want a cupcake to show everyone that he's an alpha.
okay, Ariel. I'm not saying Andrew Tate fought at the UFC level, but I mean the guy went up against a lot of really good kickboxers, in their prime. Jean-Luc Benoit, he's pretty good. I watched a couple of his fights. Um, he beat him all way. He beat him later this year. Um, I don't remember all of these fights off by heart, obviously. I'm an MMA fan, not a kickboxing fan. But Andrew Tate was against some good competition. It wasn't always elite competition, but he definitely was around it for sure. He said he nearly fought Alex Ferreira. I'm not sure how true that is, but like when it comes to actual talent being in that ring, if you go watch Andrew Tate's fight, the guy has a ton of skill. He absolutely knows what he's doing inside a boxing ring, inside a kickboxing ring.
Why would he sign up against you? Do you think otherwise?
I definitely do think otherwise, but again, I don't go around calling myself the top J. I don't try to, I don't try to belittle women. I have four daughters, so I'm like, I have four daughters and a beautiful girlfriend, and I have many girls that I look up to and respect. For me, women are the power. They bring life into this world. So I'm girl power. So like, I don't need to demasculate women for my own ego and sense of alpha. Like. I think as a man, we're providers and stuff like that. And if your woman wants to work and stuff like that, albeit, support you and whatever. But, at the end of the day, you have the final say as an alpha. But you also listen to your woman and you listen to your. My daughters are essentially going to grow up and be at one point treated like shit like men. That's just the way of life. So, all this ego bollocks and that, it's just not for me. Obviously, all of us out here in this life, whether you're a man or woman, we have egos. That's just life. But when do you put your ego aside? When do you not think you're the big boy? So obviously,
Alright. So I will leave this link down below. You can go watch the full thing. But I want to get into the tweets right here. And cool, they got rid of my. Go follow me. I'm very tactical. I've been using X Twitter a bit more lately. Um, let's go, Darren Till. Um, yeah. Um, so there's a couple new tweets. Um, this one he responded to. Okay, well, this is the newest one. Andrew Tate at Cobra Tate. I've asked my team to do some begging to fight you. I will try to keep my anger issues and insults to a minimum. I do not want to insult you to the point of you declining potentially the biggest fight of this past decade. Fuck Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's bout. Fuck Canelo and Crawford. Fuck the UFC. Fuck everyone, every promoter out there. Fuck them all. Fuck them. Me and you, aka Top Mong, and the promoter willing to promote the shit out of this fight at Misfits Boxing. I respect you actually had a decent amount of fights in your fight career. Didn't make it to my level, but had a decent level fight career. Obviously, you had other things you were pursuing, one being making more money than sense, which I commend you on. What color is your Bugatti? But yeah, let's fucking do this shit. Fucking A, dude. This is why I love Darren Till, man. This is actual fucking promotion. Now, we go over to Andrew Tate and his reply um to Darren Till. Okay, alright, these are like absolutely okay. Maybe if we do Darren Till versus Andrew Tate. I would have been so much better if X would have just kept the tweet up, but uh here we go. I guess I got a screenshot of this. I've got a lot of experience in beating up Scouser. I smashed two of them to pieces in playground on New Year's Eve 2017. Then fucked some Hilton girl. She's probably accused me of human trafficking. Well, I said, whatever. Hopefully they don't ding me too much for saying that. That's a really cool story, mate. Are we fighting or not? My team already reached out to your team. I just want to know if the top G alpha of all alpha is game. Simple. Get me back ASAP, my G. I fucking love it, dude. This is genius. So, you know, if you're Darren Till, right? His number one goal, and he's stated this ever since I've been, he wants to become a world champion. But what do I say? Well, in most of my videos, if you're not going to become a world champion, you need to make yourself a notable name. You need to make it so even when you don't have the belt, you're the main event. Even when you're not the main event. And that's exactly what he's done over at Misfits. He's now 3-0. I thought it was 4-0. But he knocked out Luke Rockhold very impressively. Really good knockout for him. Beat Darren Stewart. Beat Anthony Taylor again by knockout in the 6th round. After losing to DDP in his final fight, DDP goes on to win the belt, defended twice, lost to Hamzat, Darren Till's friend. Robert Whittaker lost to a former champion, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Jorge Masvidal became the biggest star of the sport because of that win and went on to have the Ben Askren fight. Fought Darren Till when he was still undefeated, Tyron Woodley when he was undefeated. I thought it was too early, get submitted in the 2nd round, but before that, beat Stephen Thompson, beat Calvin Cerrone in the 1st round by knockout, and, had a really good run on the regional scene. Now, over in Misfits, this is the thing. Misfits gets a lot of viewership. MMA Guru was streaming the last event, right? It may not be the level of competition the UFC is. It probably never will be. It probably never will compete with the WBC or any of those, right? But it's an outlet that gains a ton of attention, and Darren Till is at the forefront of all of it, running through all of these guys. And that builds his name. Now, look at this shit. Look at this fucking shit. That's the fucking picture he has on fucking Tabology. Oh my god. No fucking way they have his logo and they have him sitting in a leather chair. Okay, I gotta respect it though. I gotta respect it. But like, if he is able to knock out Andrew Tate, that clip is going viral. Like that will be the number one clip on everybody's feed for at least a week because of, what Andrew Tate did with the whole, multi-level marketing thing. And yeah, this is an actual reality we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Till versus Andrew Tate. If Darren Till wins this, I think if he's gonna go back to the UFC, I think it's going to be because of a win over Andrew Tate. But like I said, Andrew Tate is really good. He never stopped training. And I don't know, man. What a weird world the MMA world is, But let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Andrew Tate versus Darren Till? Who do you think wins this one? And do you think we actually see this fight in December? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, maybe this is Andrew Tate's way on the White House card. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for all the support lately. I just want to say that. Again, YouTube recent update to the rules and that really screwed over this channel, but you guys are awesome. Thank you for the support later. Come on.